Karnataka Chief Minister Bommai visited some of the rain-affected areas in Mahadevapura zone to assess the flood damage. The Chief Minister assured action and said that the waterlogging was largely because of the unprecedented rain. He said that everyone in BBMP is working really hard. This is unprecedented rain, and whatever the drain capacity is getting overfilled and tanks are getting filled. This is a rare situation and we all have to work together.
ನಿಮಿಷವೂ ಕೂಡ ಬಿಡುವಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನ ಮಹಾಜನತೆಗೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಇಚ್ಛಪಡ್ತೀನಿ, ನಮ್ಮ BBMP ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ಸು, ಸ್ಟಾಫು, ನೌಕರದಾರರು, ಆಫೀಸರ್ಸು, ಝೋನಲ್ ಕಮಿಷನರು, BBMP ಕಮಿಷನರು ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಕಷ್ಟದಿಂದ ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕತೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಇದನ್ನು ಮೆಚ್ಚುಗೆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದ ಮಳೆ, ಕಳೆದ ದಶಕಗಳಿಂದ ಬರಲಿದಂಥ ಮಳೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಎಂಥ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಡ್ರೈನ್ ಇದ್ದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಓವರ್ಫಿಲ್ ಆಗ್ತಾಯಿದೆ. ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಓವರ್ಫಿಲ್ ಆಗ್ತಾಯಿದೆ. ಈ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಹಿಂದೆಂದೂ ಕೂಡ ಆಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದೊಂದು ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸಂದರ್ಭ. ನಾನು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನ ಮಹಾಜನತೆಗೆ ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭವನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಕ್ಕಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಎದುರಿಸಬೇಕನ್ನುವಂಥ ಕರೆಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಇಚ್ಛಪಡ್ತೇನೆ.
Going across to my colleague Ritu, who joins us with more details. Ritu, we listened to what CM Basavaraj Bommai said there. He said this is a rare situation and things like this happen. But of course, the truth of the matter is these rare situations are only going to become more frequent with climate change. Now, what are at least the short-term measures that they're doing to prevent this kind of flooding? Because, for instance, while a long-term measure would be to try to connect the lakes, it looks like even the garbage was not cleared out of these drainages in preparation for the heavy downpour.
Yes, you pointed out very much right over here. So this has been a common problem here for any layman that you can see in the Bengaluru, especially because of the storm water drain. You see that has been a big issue for the Bengalurians. Drainage has been a big issue. Another thing is the encroachment has been a big issue, and there you see all this has led to this kind of a situation today, wherein the poor planning has all collapsed over here. We're at a situation when the people, in fact, are suffering a lot because of this kind of lapses from the civic bodies and the state government, who had never tried looking up to these kind of issues and instructing the civic authorities or taking strict action against them. So all this kind of lapses had led to this kind of a situation today, where we're seeing a waterlogging nearby the lake localities, because the people are up. In fact, the people are all up in arms right now against the state government, saying when the state government was aware about it that the full-fledged monsoon is here, and there would be this kind of a situation as well, because it's the nature who none of them can predict about, but at least some measures should have been taken in advance only. So every time when there are this kind of a collapse of the crumbling infrastructure or the situation on the ground, that's when the leaders turn up to their constituency. Till then, they have never been seen. So these are the kind of allegations, that have been raised from the locals. But CM now had also told that BBMP is working very hard to bring back the normalcy, and they are helping the people as well. So, the CM had also told that any civic body, for that matter, whoever tries calling them, will all have to be alert and will have to reach the spot immediately once they get the call. But of course, on the other side, we have also heard the locals, especially from Marthahalli, coming on camera and saying that from past 2-3 days that the condition is very terrible there in their locality. They had tried calling the BBMP, so the distress calls are actually raising in the BBMP office as well. But all the calls are going unanswered. But what happens right after CM calls an emergency meeting overnight? So that's when we saw yesterday most of the leaders turned up to their constituencies and visited and tried speaking to the locals as well, and had assured them about the normalcy to return. And they also said that how the operations are underway to ensure that the situation gets back in that way. But of course, all that we are getting to see is of the poor planning, because remember, Bengaluru is a city which is operating without a corporator, mayor, and not even a minister who holds that development issues as in the key issues and ensures that the city infrastructure is maintained or the city is looked up in a proper manner.
Ritu, stay with us. because we have some breaking news coming in this regard. Okay, so after heavy downpour in Bengaluru, Karnataka, the IT minister has called a meeting of representatives of several software companies today. So that's the latest development, and software firm representatives will be attending this meeting. Now, we know that the IT corridor has been very badly affected. In fact, it is one of the parts of the cities which has been flooded beyond belief. I'm going across to Ritu. Ritu, you know, what do we expect at the meeting? Also, these IT parks, even indoors, they seem to be quite flooded. And, you know, beyond those gates, the municipality doesn't have, a jurisdiction. So, of course, city is badly planned. That is there for everyone to see. Even these parks, though, not looking very planned, because and doesn't look like they've also made preparations for these kind of rains, because I see a lot of these parks are being flooded as well.
Yes, true. You see, the IT industry is very badly affected. The CM Basavaraj Bommai also other day told that the estimated loss is around the 225 crores. So he also said that he will be speaking to the IT firm owners and will also be discussing these issues and also ensure them that the infrastructure gets back and the normalcy will also get back, because previously it was COVID-19 which had affected badly the office hours, and now it's the rain which is actually again causing a trouble for them. But with all that, we also saw how Mohan Das, who spoke to CNN News 18, was also very much furious against the state government and the civic body for the poor planning and a poor infrastructure and never taking an action in advance. So we saw him also speaking about it, but not just him, but most of the other IT firm owners as well are very much angry. They are also writing a letters to the state government and getting over calls as well, requesting them to take the situation very seriously and ensure that this does not continue in the future, because we have seen how Basavaraj Bommai, the CM of the state, had visited, the overseas to bring in a lot of FDI, but this being a situation in the state will also kind of, be a troublesome for the state to bring in a lot of FDI and more firms here in the Bengaluru, because this poor planning will actually lead into unpredictable situation sometime. But now you see BT Minister Ashwath Narayan has called for a meeting of the representatives of these software companies. So this meeting is likely to take place in the evening, where he will be discussing about the key issues that the IT firms are facing and what exactly the state government can do. They'll also he'll also try and take the inputs from from the IT officials to see in what is their priority, what exactly they want, or what at better way solutions can be brought in for them, and also ensure that it does not trouble the layman and to the companies as well. The companies can also function smoothly in the state. So with all that, you see, this is the meeting that has been called from the ITBT minister of the CM2 had spoken to most of them.